guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we've got something a little different and a little interesting, something I've been looking for a long time. This is Miniverse Make It Mini Foods. It is a blind box where you basically get all these parts of a food and then it comes with resin and you put them together and you make the food that you get. So it's kind of like an art project. We're gonna open one of these, make it, and then try to make our own out of clay and resin and see how that turns out. So come on with me and let's get started. So here's what the ball looks like. Now let's open it up. This ball seems to open a lot easier than some of the other blind balls that I've opened recently, particularly the mini fashion purses. Those are really tough to open. Each ball has 3 layers. So there's an outside layer, a pink layer, and a clear layer.
It's delicious.
So this is what the ball looks like once it's unwrapped. You can see there's a lot of stuff in there. So let's take out everything and then we'll open it all up. First, it comes with this cute little doily that you can sit your food on. Next, it comes with a table. I think each ball has its own table, which is really kind of cool. Now we have an MGA package insert. And then some instructions in various other languages and in English.
It's delicious.
Next is a collector's guide. It's got recipes for making your treats on the back, and on the front it has all the collectible items you can get. And here are the recipes on the back. So you can see they're pretty simple. You just put all the things together and then let everything sit in the sun for 5 minutes so that it cures. Now let's open our blind bags. So the first one says "Have a sunny day." And it has some little crumbles. This packaging is really cute, you guys. Next is the one that says "Keep Cool." And it has our resin. It's some chocolate cream.
It's delicious.
Oh, and here's the little top that comes with the resin. Next we have our utensil bag. It comes with a little spoon. Next we have an orange bag. Sorry, this got a little bit off camera. We have some marshmallows. Next, we have some little tweezers and a little knob. Here's what the little knob looks like. And it actually goes on top of the ball so that you can put the ball together and display your treats. We also got some little tweezers to use to put everything together. Next, we have a bag that says, "Have a sunny day." And inside of it, we have chocolate bars. And finally, we have the very last bag. And it has this little drink cup, so it looks like we're going to be making a parfait. So here's everything we got. The packaging is adorable, and I'm really excited to get started with all this. So here's what it looks like we're going to be making today, this s'mores parfait. And here's all the ingredients we got. Okay, so let's start making our parfait. First, we're going to take our chocolate cream, which is our resin, and open it up and put the little nozzle on it. So I really struggled in trying to open this thing up. I don't know if that's just this particular package or if it's that way on all of them. But I eventually decided to just poke a hole in the top of it with my tweezers because I figured that it would come out the same anyway. So you want to make sure you have something like paper towels nearby since we're working with resin. This is UV resin, so it'll cure on anything that is exposed to light. And if you don't want it to cure on something, you need to clean that really well. And all you do is put the little nozzle on and your resin is ready to go. So first we're going to put a layer of resin in the bottom of our cup. I used the little spoon that came with it to kind of smooth it around and get it exactly where I want it to be. You can always add more resin if you need to, but remember, we don't have a ton of this stuff, so be very sparing with it. So the next layer is going to be marshmallows, according to the recipe. I also had a hard time opening this package because there wasn't a little tear strip, so I eventually just decided to cut it with some scissors. It's really cute, and you can see the little marshmallows in there. So for this layer, you just take some marshmallows and put them in the cup. I discovered it was easier to dump them in than to put them in one by one, but you can do either. I'm just moving them around and getting them to where I want them, and I used the little spoon again in order to situate them. So apparently I was supposed to bake it before putting on another layer of resin, but I didn't realize that. So you can kind of do it either way. Putting on this second layer of resin without baking it first just makes the marshmallows be a little bit more covered by the resin, so they're more embedded in it, Whereas if you don't do this and you bake it first, then they'll stand out a little bit more. Again, I'm kind of using the spoon to get everything to where I want it and making sure that the resin is evenly distributed. And here's what it looks like so far. One good thing about having it not set completely yet is that I can move everything around and get it exactly how I wanted it and get it up close to the glass so you could actually see the marshmallows in the chocolate sauce. Here I'm just adding a little tiny bit more resin.
It's delicious.
Next is time for the crumbles. I found it was easiest to pour them in straight from the bag. If you get too many, you can always pour some back and save them for later projects. Again, we're just arranging things with the spoon. Now it's time for one last layer of resin. I was starting to run out at this point, so I decided to switch the nozzle back to the cap and let it sit upside down for a little while to let the resin drain towards the top. Here I tried to smooth out what resin I had in there, but that didn't really work very well. I decided to leave the spoon in there because I thought it would be a nice touch to have the spoon coming out of the top of the glass. After letting the resin sit for a bit, I decided to go ahead and see what I could squeeze out of it. After fighting with it for a little bit, I got some out. It was at least enough to secure the spoon. Now it's time for more marshmallows.
It's delicious.
Now it's time for the chocolate bars. The recipe showed actually adding them as single units, but I wasn't able to break them apart. I'm not really sure if you're supposed to or not, so I got out the scissors and decided to cut them. Please be careful when you do this because scissors are very sharp. Then I added the single chocolates to the cup. And finally, I added the large chocolate bar. I was able to get out just one more drop of resin to secure everything together. Here's what it looks like before baking. At the last minute, I decided to use some clear resin to tack everything down and glue it in place. This is an optional step, and this resin did not actually come with the ball. It's part of my own personal stash. And here's what we have so far. Next, because it's not very sunny outside, I decided to actually bake my resin under a UV light. And here's how it turned out after baking. Everything is secure and nothing is going to fall out. And I think it looks really good. Now let's try to make our own. I found these little keychain jars in the resin section of Hobby Lobby. It's a little bit bigger than the one we just used, but I think it'll work out just fine. We have one chocolate bar left over, so we may use that. We'll use the rest of our crumbles. We'll need white and brown clay and some UV resin. Now let's make some marshmallows. Continue making them until you've got about 20 or 30. I decided to just go ahead and make our own chocolate pieces. So let's do that now.
Delicious.
Now it's time to bake all of our pieces. So place them on a pan with wax paper and bake them according to the instructions on your clay. Once everything is baked and cooled, it's time to start building our parfait. Here I mixed up some brown resin for the chocolate sauce. I used white and brown soft pastels to add to the mixture. Now let's add our layers. First, add the resin. Then add the marshmallows. This time we're going to bake each layer in between. Now it's time for the second layer of resin. After baking your second layer, this is what it should look like. Now let's add some crumbles. Then another layer of resin. Then fill the rest of the jar with resin up close to the top. Now let's add some marshmallows and chocolates. Again, let's add some clear resin to the top just to seal everything in place. Now bake it for the final time. And there you go. Here's our 2 parfaits. This one is the one we made from the kit, and this one is the one we made from scratch. How do you guys think we did? All right, thank you so much for coming by and joining me as we made Miniverse parfaits. I hope you guys had a great time. I know I did. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!